under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, for item 3, we have presentations and special event approvals. Item 3.1 is HR presentation. Let me turn around.
There you go. Okay, good evening. I'm Linda Gonzalez, Chief Human Resources Officer, and I want to welcome Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commission. And tonight we have a very special presentation that I would like to ask all of my colleagues, directors, and deputy directors, assistant deputy city manager to come join me for this.
That's why I stayed.
So this, we bought a little card. Yes, thank you. And this is for our now Commissioner, but then Vice Mayor Salvino. And this is a little card and a very nice plaque we've put together with your picture to say thank you for the barbecue picnic for sponsoring.
Again, thank you for this card. It caught me off guard. Again, employees deserve it. You guys work very hard. Our city's come a long way. Our administration, our staff, you guys have, and all the people that are not here have worked really, really diligently for our city. And I have to tell you and commend you that I've been here a long time. Everything looks great. You guys are working hard. We're growing fast. I know there's a lot of pressure on everybody. And the picnic was well deserved. And I think the first one, it was well attended. I have to give thanks to Cliff Berry and his staff for coming out here, and they did, supply all the food for nothing. I mean, we were going to take it out of contingency, but they paid for it all. And then, of course, I don't know if they're still here or not, but Kelly and Sharon Sharabi from Kush Jewelers, they brought the bounce houses out, the little animal petting zoo, and the face painting for the kids. And the kids were going crazy. And what a great job she did out there. And then, of course, we had what else we have? Oh, we had I'm we had the 360 photo. Everybody was standing there spinning around, and it was just a great day. The food was good, the entertainment was great, and the employees had a great time. And again, I hope everybody enjoyed it a lot, and I hope you support it next year. When we come around and tell. I don't know how the prizes went, but I know there's a lot of good prizes that were given away, TV sets and gift certificates. So I'm sure the employees that got that were very, very excited. I know that I had a good time, and I know that everybody there had a good time. I'm sure that the ones that didn't come probably wishing they did. So maybe next year we'll probably have twice the crowd. Thank you for this. It's really caught me off guard. Thank you.
Okay, for I oh picture, sorry. It's you, man. Ralph. Just start meeting. When I go start meeting, it doesn't work. meeting template. Do empty meeting.
Okay, I'll start. All right.
All right, no. Okay, cool. Yeah, I wasn't. Thank you.
Wait, now we gotta get on mine. Making her get in mine.
I'd imagine this would happen. You know, just get everything. Okay, next we have item 3.2. It's a special event request from Marina 84 Sports Bar and Grill to host Marina 84 Bike Night every Wednesday beginning from January 4th, 2023 through Wednesday, December 27th, 2023, to be held at 2440 West State Road 84 from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, all the department's directors have gone through it, and they recommend your approval of you and your colleagues.
Okay,
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
item 3.3 is
No,
just,
gotta vote.
oh,
All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. 3.3, special event request from Dania Live 1748 and Dania Live 2 1748 LLC to host Dania Point Annual Events 2023, beginning January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023, to be held at various locations throughout Dania Point. For this item, we have Mr. Brad Freeman from Dania Point, and he would like to give us a presentation for this item. Mr. Freeman.
Hey, good evening. Happy Thanksgiving. It's good to see you all. Congratulations on the recent election. I'm Brad Freeman. I'm the Regional Vice President / General Manager at Dania Point. Thank you for hosting us here. I believe on one of these boards is our presentation. I came kind of without anything other than what would be presented. But
Monica. Okay.
okay, yeah, thank you. Next page, please. So what we're doing actually would also include some of the things that we're trying to do for the remainder of this year. Most particularly due to the success we had with our food and wine festival and the 5K, and then we also did the exotics car show, which was very well received. We want to do a World Cup viewing party for the semifinals and the finals of the World Cup underneath our hotel plaza. So that's part of this as well. So it would be in addition to all our holiday stuff that we usually do, like the snow that we brought in last year and the snowman event and all of that stuff that was already previously approved. We also wanted to get approval for a World Cup viewing event. So really, I can take you through this and then we can talk about that as part of the presentation. But as you all know, we like to program a lot. We like to be very interactive with the community, and we've done very successful events, and we'd like to continue to do that. Next slide, please. Some of the things that we do that we're proposing for next year are the same things that we've done this year, like the ongoing programming, you know, that engages the people, like the live music. We do DJs. One of the things that came on most recently is an electric violinist who's really fantastic. If you haven't seen her, you got to come in and do that. She's phenomenal. We're always looking for any sort of live music or anything that's going to engage people. We also do themed entertainers like dancers and fire dancers and jugglers to mix it up so there's something for everybody to see. And then we do our Wellness Wednesdays, where we'll do some sort of a health related event every Wednesday night throughout the year. It's been very successful. We want to continue that. Usually that's programmed with either some sort of Zumba class or yoga, but we can also add into the mix maybe some health fairs and different things. But it's the popularity is growing and the attendance also is growing. So we're going to continue that throughout the year. And then the cultural Saturdays is where, depending on the time of the year, we'll pick something that goes with the time of the year. Like in February, we'll do like a Lunar New Year celebration for the Asian cultures, and we'll do different things throughout the time of the time of the year that coincides with some of the things that go with the cultures here. We're so multicultural in South Florida. We like to celebrate that. In addition to that, then we also have like a little free library that we put in to encourage the literacy and just people enjoying the lawn area at the center. Next slide, please. The proposed programming, in addition to those signature events, is we do want to bring back the night markets that we're doing. We've switched them over to the holiday night market now through the end of the year, where they're more holiday themed and a little bit more artisans around the holidays. And then after the holidays, we'll just go back to our regular night markets that we were doing. And then along with that are the specialty markets that we would do for International Women's Month. And we do a spring artisan fair, we do a mommy and me fair, we do a Hispanic heritage fair, and then we do a picnic on the lawn in the fall. So those are all things that we would continue to present and do. And then we do the holiday artisan markets. And this year they run November 25th through December 18th. Next year they'll run November 25th through, or I think the 15th or 16th. It all depends on how the weekends fall. We do not do them on the Christmas proper, but leading up to that, we'll do them on all of the weekends. They're a lot of fun and we get a lot of engagement. In addition to that, we'll do the snowman experience. That's where we actually bring real snow out and put it, and we build real snowmen and let people engage with real snow and take photos and social media, but also let the kids feel what snow is and just kind of have fun, make a snowball. Who doesn't like to do that? So we do that every weekend from Black Friday through the holidays as well, through Christmas. And then we'll also we'll bring back, this year we tried the bubble experience where we do bubble machines on the lawn in the summer. That was really good. So we're going to bring back that as well. Next slide, please. In addition to all of the programming that I just mentioned that happens throughout the year, this is where we start talking about the World Cup in particular. I know it's important right now is USA tied Wales earlier today, 1-1, if you weren't watching, but it was great. A lot of excitement with the World Cup. And again, since we're so diverse with our ethnicity, there's a lot of support for all sorts of teams. And it's great to bring something like that to Dania. It's great to be able to have an event where it's a world showcase that we can bring and set up on the the lawn. What we want to do with this one, though, is we want to program it right below the hotels where we have our big screen TV, and then show the games on the big screen TV. Then we want to provide, a seating area, and also we'd want to have food out there, and alcohol. We'd like to serve like beer, wine. So if somebody's watching, they can have a beer and a hot dog or something. So we're putting together what the actual, since it's kind of at the last minute, we're still putting together the final program. It will be submitted through the permit process, but the idea of having something out there that we can engage the residents of Dania, and also all our guests from around the country that come in to enjoy Dania Point. We want to have something to program there. And wanted to bring it to your attention tonight. That's something we're still putting together. And then again, next year we'll do the Food and Wine Festival. That was so much fun. Can't wait for next year. We've already started to plan that. We'll also do the 5K again, and the Exotics will be meeting the Exotics Car Show folks within the next couple weeks to already start planning that again, because they were a lot of fun and they were very successful, and we want to continue to do that. Some of the other programming, we're using the World Cup as an experiment for other viewing opportunities that we can do. Like, for instance, we'd like to do a Super Bowl viewing party next February when the Super Bowl comes. And then F1, Formula One racing is just did a 10-year contract. This will be year 2 of a 10-year contract. We'd like to do some sort of an F1 event that would have interactive, like we could bring F1 cars out, and then we could also show the F1 race as an approved, authorized offsite host. So we're working on that as well. And so those are the things that we would like to bring before you and ask for approval in advance, so that we could dig into the details and just make it happen, and make it happen great. So next slide. I think we're pretty well. Yeah, and here's just an overall calendar of what we do. Everything yellow is a calendar when something is planned throughout the year. So that was just something that we threw on the end, just to see how programmed we are and how many events we try to do for you guys. That's really the event program. I don't have anything else to say at this point.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Commissioner James, you have something to say? Oh. Okay, we'll start with Commissioner Davis.
Thank you. Hi, Brad. I just know I want to speak to the fact that you guys bringing 3 firsts to Dania Point. You have a regular, wonderful program that you do all the time with the Wellness Wednesdays, but the last 3, the Wine Festival, the 5K, and the Exotics, really are taking our city to the next level. I'm just so beyond amazed by the quality that you're bringing, the diversity that you're bringing to the city, and the vision that you have to make Dania Point an iconic entertainment center. In turn, makes us an iconic city. So thank you for what you're doing. You have my full support for what you want to do. And the World Cup is just the next level. I mean, you just keep leveling up every single time. And this is another thing that Super Bowl, come on, it's going to be amazing. So thank you for your innovative ideas and bringing them to our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Salvino.
Thank you. Brad, you know how I feel about what you guys do over there. Dania Point has really set us on the map, and I've been traveling a little bit lately, and people already know it out of town where Dania Point is. Kimco and Dania Point have done a great job. You drive through there, you can surely see that there's nothing held back about landscaping and cleanliness, and the way that things are being done over there. And your events are above all. You always will have my support with things like that, because you make the element there. I'm excited for the holidays coming up, because I know last year with the snow and stuff, it was a outstanding event that the kids went crazy and stuff like that. And it just it put a lot of what do you call it, holiday spirit into people that were really needed coming out of COVID. So I'm sure this event will probably top last year's, but we're excited for everything you do there. And thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Salvino. I know Commissioner Llewellyn. Vice Mayor Llewellyn? Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Thank you. Thank you, Brad. I wanted to specifically speak, I went to most of these events that you had more recently, but I wanted to specifically speak about the exotics because there were a lot of people who've gone to this when it was on Las Olas. And the one thing that they were saying is that they love doing it at Dania Point because you can spread out. There's free parking, plenty of it, and they were really, really happy with the whole program. And I know that the people that I spoke with there were really excited about seeing it come back again. So I think it's a good program. And I was also happy to see the Historic Society had a little booth there as well. They could set up, and they had quite a few people that went through and stopped in. So I'm fully supportive of these events.
Okay, can I entertain a motion to approve? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hi, thank you. Hi, Brad.
Commissioner James?
Hi, Brad. Amazing events. I went to the car show and it was just more than what I could have expected. And, like Commissioner Salvino has said, we have watched this from those of us who were here long enough go from Grand Prix to now Boomers and then Daniel Point and uh, what it has given our community and the amount of things it's given our community to do inside of our city has been amazing. And so I want to thank you and your staff. This is a tireless job, I'm sure. But you keep new ideas coming, new ideas that I didn't foresee coming. You keep it coming. You keep our community engaged and you keep attracting new residents, new people to patronize our businesses here. And so thank you so much. And with that, I guess I make a motion to approve it.
Can I have a vote? All in favor? You guys have it. Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Just one other comment. I couldn't be more happy to work with all of you. It's a partnership that makes it work, and we're very proud of the relationship that we have, and we're very proud of what we can bring to the city. And I just love everything about what we're doing. So thank you as well. It's really fun to come and be able to brag about what we do and be the one that gets to represent my staff and all we do. So thank you very much for what you do as well. It's greatly appreciated.
Okay, for the next item, we have
3.4.
Item 3.4 is a special event request from Dania Entertainment Center to host the Florida Mega Market to be held at 301 East Dania Beach Boulevard on December 17th, 2022, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Any commissioners have anything? Oh, Commissioner James,
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
all in favor? Ayes have it. Item 5, special event request from the City of Dania Beach and Dania Beach Lions Club for the 16th annual Dania Beach Vintage Motorcycle show to be held at Frost Park, 300 Northeast 2nd Street on January 28th, 2023, from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Okay, item 3.6, special event request from Ravenswood Management Association to host the community yard sale to be held at 2121 Southwest 53rd Court, beginning Friday, November 25th, 2022, through Sunday, November 27th, 2022, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Make a motion past 3.6, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Okay, now for item 4, we are on to proclamations. Yeah, it's done. Okay. All right, now for item 5, we have citizen comments. So we have quite a few. I guess I will just start in random order. Okay, so for our first resident, we would like Mr. Sean DeRosa. Please come up. And please state your name and address?
Good evening, Sean DeRosa, 408 Southeast Fifth Street, Dania. For a very long time, since July of this summer, I've been dealing with a noise nuisance issue coming from 414 Southeast Fifth Street. I've shared the audio recordings with Commissioner Salvino, Commissioner James, Mrs. Garcia, Mr. Sosa Cruz. Our chief, going to 1:45 a.m. I'd like my wife to be able to sleep in peace. I'd like to be able to get up and work and be productive. I've been living in the community for close to 40 years. No one's ever told me I harassed anyone. I believe I'm a reasonable person. I came to the magistrate hearing this past week. I testified like Mr. Walton asked me to testify. I shared my audio. Unfortunately, the city attorney shared with me because my audio was gathered on the side of my home that it could not be admitted as evidence per the ordinance. In addition to all the other violations that this neighbor currently has, they were allowed to skate on the noise violation. With that being said, if our noise ordinance has some holes in it, I'd like to politely request that you review it so that any resident, if their quality of life is being impacted and disturbed, they can gather their audio evidence anywhere on their property. And that if the police come, the police can gather, and any city official comes, they can gather the audio visual evidence anywhere on the property or anywhere adjacent to the property that's causing the noise. That's one of my polite requests this evening. I don't know if one of the commissioners can make a motion to review the noise ordinance and we can get it put on the agenda.
1 minute remaining.
But that's one of my polite requests tonight. In addition to the noise, there's constant illegal parking coming from this residence, 414 Southeast Fifth Street. This past week, we probably had 8 cars parked in the service alley, in addition to 10 cars parked in the front, and they are regularly blocking the public right away. Mrs. Garcia has seen the video where women have to walk into the middle of the street in the middle of the night because the public sidewalks are blocked. Last night, or yesterday, when the police officer came, he didn't issue any tickets. He just asked them to move the cars. This is probably the 10th, 11th, or 12th time they've come since July. I think they've been very lenient. At what time do you start issuing the tickets? You know, the safety of our residents comes first. I don't think we should have to have women pushing strollers being directed into the middle of the street. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. DeRosa. They're noted, and we will discuss and take it up with the staff. I appreciate your time. Okay, for our next resident, will Mr. Ed Campion please come up and state your name and address? You have 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Ed Campion, 420 Southeast Fifth Street, one door east of the people making all this commotion. They moved in about 12 years ago, 10 years ago. And at first they were very nice, but after about 2 months it changed. And the police have been called there no less than 50 times. And someday you will have a record of that. Because we're going to get it. And I have been here many a times, talk about it, and nothing was ever done. And one mistake I think the commission makes is that, first off, I think Dania Point was excellent. And this happened, started happening about 8-10 years ago. And it's been a godsend to the community. But I know for a fact that Sean's house is probably going down $75,000 to $100,000 because of the neighbors next door. They have complete disregard for everybody in the area, and they feel because they own the property, they can do whatever they want. And there should be some sort of a fine. And I know that it costs a lot of money for the police to come out and make a visit. And I know for a fact they've been there at least 50 times since these people have moved in for the same recurring problem. And they've got no fines. And I feel that they should get a fine and then progressive fines for each time they do it. Now, I've been at commission meetings years back where a person may be fined $50,000 or $80,000 for violations on their property, which is all well and good. But then the commission lowers it to $2,000. You're undermining your own authority. That simply doesn't make any business sense at all. If people violate the law, hold them accountable. Thank you.
1 minute remaining. Thank you, Mr. Campion. Thank you for coming out here. I appreciate your time. Oh, sorry. Mr. Salvino, Commissioner Salvino would like to speak.
Yes, I'd like to just address that issue just a little bit. Going back a while, we used to have what they call a nuisance abatement. And that nuisance abatement was after there were so many calls to a resident or a business or whatever for issues that were created from constant complaints, it became a nuisance. And that nuisance becomes, if I'm not incorrect from listening to the past city attorney, that we have the right and action to be able to take legal action against the property. And I think that needs to be reviewed as a nuisance abatement because besides being fined, there's a way that when there's that many complaints, there has to be a different avenue besides finding them, besides citing them, and besides coming to the magistrate. As far as the other concern was, as far as the commission years ago, we did have that problem with reducing the fines. That's one of the things that I did when I was the mayor. I didn't reduce anything. I took it away from the commission and turned it over to magistrate. Magistrate now does all the findings, so we don't have any control anymore over that. And I think that the magistrate has not reduced anything, as far as I know. But the complaints on this property, we have to do something as far as curing it. There's got to be a reason. It just can't go on and on and on. I know that emails have come, the complaints have come, and I don't know if the chief wants to speak on it for the fact or not, but there's a lot of calls there. And if there's anything you can do as a city attorney to look into the nuisance ruling on that, maybe we can take a different avenue. Thank you.
I will look at that. Thank you. I just wanted to let you know that the special magistrate has reduced liens once they've been recorded. For example, there was a 95-year-old woman at the last meeting, and she was on a fixed income, and she had like $36,000 for not closing out a permit timely, and we reduced it to like cost of filing fees on her.
Thank you.
Commissioner James?
Yes, how are we choosing which residents we're deciding, or is it just up to your discretion on whether you decide who we are going to reduce fees for and who we're not going to reduce fees
Special
for?
magistrate decides.
Okay.
They try to be consistent on the amount. Usually the special magistrate does reduce it to 90% of what the original fine, the total fine is, including interest. The exception to the rule is usually corporations and Airbnb type locations. Those are not really reduced.
Okay, I'm going to back up what Commissioner Savino has said. I know we've all received numerous amounts of emails, phone calls, videos, text messages, and all of the above. And I'm not as familiar. I know that I initially thought this was the Airbnb property, but it's another property. So now you have an Airbnb property on one side that is causing a lot of noise complaints and issues to quality of life, and now you have what it appears to be another complaint of noise. And so I just ask that whatever staff has to do to be able to get all of the evidence and really address this issue because Mr. DeRosa has been coming up here for way too long for, it still to be the same issue. So I'm not sure what we need to do. I know that we're limited on what we can do depending on the type of property it is, but we have to give our residents some type of relief.
We have clear direction.
Okay, thank you. Next, I would like to ask Deborah Settles. Please come up. state your name and address. Oh, okay, Deborah's gone. Okay, can we please have Mr. Terrell McCombs come up? Please state your name and address, sir.
Hi, my name's Terrell McCombs. I live at 41 Southwest Fifth Street, Dania. I'm here for bid item number 8, which is coming up on the agenda. The Swanson Nyberg house was here 100 years ago. And what happened 100 years ago? The citizens, actually the city of Dania did not exist. In 1925, it was part of Hollywood. And a few good people stepped up to the plate, my great-grandfather and A.J. Ryan the first was on the first Hollywood City Commission to bring Dania back to Dania. And on the 90th anniversary, I was with A.J. Ryan the second at the Swanson Nyberg house. They had a birthday cake celebrating the history of Dania. And we want to preserve what little bit of history we have. A.J. Ryan the second meant a lot to myself and my dad, who grew up with him. And the house meant a lot to him when we were there together in the 1990s. And the city, with the Dania Beach Improvement Committee, we've placed a fountain in front of the house. And what I'm saying is $39,000 is like a postage stamp to repair the house. I live in a house that was built in 1938. We spent $40,000 for our new metal roof 5 years ago. What can $39,000 do for the Women's Club and the Swanson Nyberg house? We need to preserve what little bit of history, architectural history we have. The Dania Beach Hotel was torn down to build a place with a leaky pool. I mean, we didn't save any historical. We're tearing our city apart, building all these new condos. We need to preserve what little bit of history we have. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Mr. McCombs. Well, I'll say something on that. You know, I am a total proponent of preserving the history of Dania Beach. As you know, my family's been here a long time, and just like your family, Mr. McCombs. And the Nyberg Swanson house, just to get it where it is, it took, you know, a whole city staff, and it cost a lot of money. It took donation. You had to carry the house on a foundation because it used to be over where Walgreens was, and then they moved it over. And yeah, I know that I've talked to the city manager about it. This $39,000 is basically for windows, and you know they're repairing the windows, and they're also putting in new ones. And then it's not going to be like brand new hurricane impact windows because they want to preserve the historical integrity of the house. So I understand that 39,000 is not much to repair something, but at least it's a step in the right direction. But yeah, I do agree that we should put more efforts towards preserving the historical integrity of Dania Beach.
Mr. Mayor, if I may,
Please.
I just want to put it in the record that this administration, with the support of this commission, has set aside $1.5 million for both the Nyberg Swanson and the Women's Club. So this is just to address the windows, but we have a game plan to address all of it. When I became your city manager and I did my first inspection on that property, basically, it was in total disarray. But again, this administration and the support of this commission has put us in a predicament that we stopped the bleeding. But this is only the beginning. And our goal is to bring that back to its glory. And we've set aside $1.5 million to do so.
Commissioner James?
Yes, Commissioner Salvino was just saying that this is not the cost for the entire amount, as the city manager just reiterated. This is the first step, many phases to come. We definitely have you said what? No, yes, a lot of money to put towards it. This is something that we have found very special and near and dear to all of us, not just demolish it or move it or do away with it, but we definitely want to with the Historical Society, definitely want to keep that in our city and preserve its history the best that we can. So I wanted to ensure you and the mayor that it's not $39,000. As we know, $39,000 goes really, really quickly, but this is just to start the process, which is long overdue that we have been discussing for a long time. And so it's good to see us finally, awarding a bid to start the journey.
Thank you, Commissioner James. Commissioner Salvino?
Yeah, just to reiterate on both the city manager and Commissioner James, we talked about this extensively about the historical part of the two buildings there. We talked about a lot of things that we were going to do with that after we rebuild it and get it back in the original historical look. We also talked about putting little place marks down along the way, little pathways and stuff to give I think the city history as it goes along. But they're going to put a lot more than 39,000. I'm going to guess you're probably going to put $500,000 into that building. I would say close to that by the time we're done. It's going to be done right, Mr. McCombs. You'll see. 39,000 just to get us started, get the estimates and go. But they are going to preserve those two buildings like you would not believe. We got that money set aside for it.
Thank you, Commissioner Salvino. Okay, for our next resident, Miss Kathy Kay, please come up, state your name and address.
Kathy Kay, 355 Southwest Second Avenue, Dania. And I'm a very long time resident here and my family too. And I had known there was money set aside, but we were hearing such terrible rumors about the city moving the house and letting it decline. So I'm very pleased to hear that. My husband, a past mayor, Ted Kay, would be willing to go in. He's a retired contractor. Go in and evaluate it if you're interested in that. I know you have your own people, but he's very good at that, and it would be free. So I always thought my grandfather did such a great thing for the city. He donated the land for Frost Park, and that was Martin Frost. But he did it with a clause in there that said if the city sold it, that it would revert back to the family. So I wish the Nyberg House had done that too. So anyway, thank you, and I'm so glad to hear what you're saying. It makes me feel so much better. Bye.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Kay. Really appreciate it. Next, Joanna Granite. Please come up and state your name and address.
Hello, good evening. Joanna Granette, President of the Dania Beach Historical Society, Dania Beach resident, 450 Southeast 7th Street, number 251. Good evening, Mayor Ryan, Vice Mayor Luella, and commissioners and city staff. I'd like to state for the record, on October 15th, 2022, members of the Dania Beach Historical Society Museum attended the Broward County Pioneer 2022. The event was held in Wilton Manors with Terrell McCombs, of whom the City of Dania Beach and the Dania Beach Historical Society nominated for our city's 2022 Pioneer. I hope that the city can and will host the 2024 Broward Pioneer in line with the city being 120 years old, years young, I should say. And I'd also like to say that on Sunday, November 13th, the Historical Society was able to get a booth at Exotics at Dania Point. We had a very successful event, lots of prospective future members for our Historical Society. A lot of new Dania Beach residents who reside at Dania Point showed an enormous amount of interest in the city of Dania Beach and also the history and their desire to learn about the history. This positive interest makes me even more excited for the future of the Historical Society. I'd like to thank Emily and Nina at Dania Point and also Floyd of Exotics for allowing us this amazing opportunity. I also had things to say about the Nyberg Swanson House. I also heard that it was going to be moved, neglected, but you've made me feel better because obviously, as you can tell, we love the house, we want to get in it. But one thing I do want to say is that I was told that in an email from Fernando Rodriguez. Not yet. Did I say his name wrong? Sorry, it's one surname I cannot pronounce properly. I had an email from him saying that the work and the restoration will not be done started until the fiscal year 2024. Why? Why would it take so long if we have that money allocated for
30
restoration?
seconds.
Right, thank you for
You
your
still have
time.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all a very safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Ms. Gurnett. Really appreciate your presentation and your time. Commissioner Davis?
Thank you, Mayor. I did want to just reiterate what a wonderful job the Historical Society is doing for our city. I was able, and I know Vice Mayor Llewellyn stopped by the booth that they had at the Exotics. The entire parking lot was entirely full. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people were there, and they put on such a professional presentation with all the history, with the pictures. They were engaging the kids with snacks and different things, and it was literally an opportunity. People who were coming by, they didn't know that Dania Beach was the first city in Broward. They didn't know the history of Dania Beach, and so taking advantage of opportunities like that are just invaluable to our city. Thank you. Those are the kind of things that make us memorable and provide opportunities for thousands of people who come from all over to see where Dania Beach is and why we're so important in the city's history. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you to all the members of the Historical Society. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and you make us proud. Thank you.
Yes, I'd just like to say one thing. 2024 is going to be a really big year. 120-year anniversary of the city is something, and you should definitely start planning for it now. I think we could have like a little committee to celebrate 120-year anniversary, and we could highlight multiple parts of our city. We could do the new and the old, but that's definitely going to be a huge year for us, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you. For our next resident, Miss Linda Wilson, please come up, state your name and address.
Linda Wilson. I'm not a resident of Dania Beach. I am a resident of Hollywood. I am the first vice president of the Dania Hollywood, the Dania Baldomeo Library, and also a consultant on the Dania Beach Historical Society and Museum. I wanted to also comment on
Could you please state your address, even though it's in Hollywood?
Okay, 1547 Adams Street, Hollywood.
Thank you.
I spend all of my time here in Dania Beach and have for the last 10 years. I am, as I said, very active in a lot of things in the city, including the library, and have been pushing for an historic district to be established here in Dania Beach. And I have heard some discussions that, and I believe it's from the CRA, that are purporting an art district. I don't know why it could be an art district and not include cultural and historical, which those are all components of a very successful downtown. The ideal place for it, and I know the long term, is to build your 14-story monstrous residences all around the city hall and build a new city hall. But you have to preserve the history. And there are other buildings that can be moved into an area. The one is the old Frost House that's also next to Jimmy's Chocolates, belongs to a development. That could be incorporated into it. There are many other homes in the other district on the northwest side of the tracks. And there are many throughout this whole area that should be designated historic. The Dania Women's Club, 1907 or 1904, I think it's 1907, you can't move that. It's impossible. And this amount of money that you are spending on this bid process now, I have been a procurement specialist for years in the city of Fort Lauderdale, 18 years to be exact. I have quite a bit of experience in bid, contract, RFPs, writing contracts for all types of things, including construction. The bid itself was so limited that you could look at this as expending this as a Band-Aid. It is totally a Band-Aid. Instead of doing it this way, why don't you really
30
look at
seconds.
what it's going to cost to do either historic preservation redo or just a preservation redo? In order for you to do this as a historic change redo, you would have to put in something that would ADA, which would include for the second story, an elevator. So these are just Band-Aids that you're doing. I do want to congratulate all the new commissioners in their new positions and thank you for your time served before. I could just say one more thing very quickly. Several years ago, we received a large grant from the Broward Cultural Division. It was $25,000 to be matched by the city for $25,000. We submitted a project called Honor the Legacy. It is installed with the historic information all around the city circle here, and it has yet to be unveiled. It has yet to be celebrated, and I hope that the Dania Beach Historical Society can make this one of their first projects to do a walking tour of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilson. I appreciate you coming out here, and I respect your dedication to our city.
Mr. Mayor, we could have our deputy city managers just provide some facts.
Sure.
Some clarity in regards to a couple of things, the Nybrook Swanson and the fact that we're not building a new city hall and just a couple of those things just to bring the facts.
Yes,
forward.
absolutely. Candido Sosa Cruz, Deputy City Manager. The reason I came up as the manager stated is because we want to clarify and state on the record some information that seems to be circulating that's not factual. First, I want to clarify that the Nybrook Swanson is not going to be moved. The Women's Clubhouse is not going to be moved. This item on the agenda is strictly for preventive maintenance. That is it. If some people could remember a few months ago, some people came up and complained that we weren't maintaining the property. And from that point on, we put a tent to ensure that rodents don't go into the property. And again, this one is so there's no water leaks, so humidity does not enter into the property, so mold does not grow in the property, because these items were all present when we first started here. So this is not the complete restoration. We are working with a historical architect that is providing a full scope to renovate the property completely. Again, both properties, and neither one of the properties are going to be moved. So I want to make sure that's clear to everyone. The reason this item is on the agenda is because we have a threshold. Once we surpass the threshold, the dollar amount, we have to present it, but this is not the historical renovation. Again, this is a preventive maintenance item to ensure that the property does not continue to deteriorate. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and our last resident, Debbie Maclier, please come up and state your name and address.
Hi, my name is Debbie McElroy. I'm a 418 Southwest 2nd Place in Dania Beach. I'm here to voice my opinion, I guess we would say, on an item that I just found out about that has been ongoing. Everyone that's come up here has talked about history, partnerships, and family. We are one of the biggest ones that are in Dania and have been here our entire lives. We are a 4th generation family and business owner in the same location. We own all of our properties, all of our homes in the city of Dania Beach. We all are taxpayers, and a huge one, I might add at that. I understand that it's been brought to some of your attentions or how something transpired. I have no idea. I accidentally found out from another driver from another company that came up to one of my sons and kind of very childish was, haha, we took the city of Dania from you. Oh, we had no idea. I had no idea. We have been dealing with, I went from a employee to a partner to a sole owner by losing my father-in-law, who was Charles McEllier, who sat in every one of these seats in a matter of 2.5 years. Me and my sons and my daughter have picked up. We're still family owned and run. We've never changed a single thing. We've been towing for the city of Dania Beach since the 1970s. And to my knowledge, has never had a complaint or with our towing. With our properties, if there's ever any issue, the code enforcement can contest to me, pick up the phone and call me. I'm there. I fix it immediately. I try to keep everything as neat and clean as possible. I try to do the best job I can. We're a drug-free workplace. I'm open 24 hours, 7 days a week for everyone's opportunity or availability, no matter what time of day or night that we are needed. And for me to find out that this is going on and has been going on and nobody even picked up a phone, sent me a letter, sent me a postcard or anything to say, hey, this is what the city wants to do. What do you think? Come on in and talk to us or explain your situation. Or we have a complaint. Why do we have this complaint? Let me tell my side of the story. But instead I find out that it's going to go out for contract on a rotation basis and only one company, which isn't me, isn't going to be in that contract. So I would like an opportunity to, let's be equal and fair. You know, talk to me. Where is the family? Where is the partnership and the working together as a city? We are part of your city and have been for many years. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Mackley. I appreciate you coming up here. Eve?
Mrs. Mackley, I just wanted to let you know that, first of all, you're not losing the contract, to be clear. It would be another company that could also provide services. That being said, item number 7.3, which is the resolution on this other towing company, is being pulled off the agenda for tonight. So it will be on a future agenda, but it's not on tonight's. But you were not being removed from the list. So it was basically to have more choices for the police department, and it would be a rotating list. You, them, you, them, you, them. Follow me? But nobody was trying to cancel your contract. You're welcome to call me. I'll give you my card. We can talk further, but I just wanted to be clear about that. There was no intent to cancel the contract.
Okay, that concludes the citizens' comments. Now for item 6, Captain Marks, are you going to give the public safety reports? Thank you, Captain Marks.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Pardon my brevity tonight. We're currently working a train versus pedestrian over on Sterling. So anybody on their way home tonight, please avoid that area. Be shut down for some time. One of the best parts about my job is when one of our employees gets recognized or told job well done by somebody outside, somebody that sees their good work. We're fortunate to have Deputy Blackwood here tonight. He has taken it upon himself to really go out and make a difference with the mentally ill and homeless population. He's been amazing at getting them the support and gathering resources. So I'd like to call him up right now. Deputy Blackwood. So what I'd like to do tonight, I received a very, very nice recognition letter in reference to his great work. So I'd like to read it to everybody. I hope that this letter finds you and your people well. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank one of your deputies for greatly assisting me with the situation. On October 1st, 2022, I was contacted by one of my neighbors who was very concerned about one of their children who happened to be in Dania Beach. They explained that he suffered from mental illness and alcoholism and had received word that he was acting erratic and had been kicked out of the place where he was staying and was probably on the beach somewhere with no place to go. Several attempts were made to contact this individual with negative results. I had my dispatch center reach out to local law enforcement agencies in your area and learned that Deputy Blackwood from your agency had contact with the subject twice. Deputy Blackwood called me and explained that the subject was very uncooperative and hostile toward him and the other deputies on scene. However, at some point during his interaction, he realized that the subject suffered from mental illness. Instead of arresting the subject, he made arrangements for the subject to go to the hospital to get treatment that he needed without having to use force. He also gave me the information to the hospital so that the subject's parents could contact him there and put their minds at ease. I greatly appreciate the compassion and professionalism shown by Deputy Blackwood and the other deputies that assisted him. I'm sure that this is a testament to the training that you provide your people, as well as their own integrity and desire to serve others. Please pass along my thanks and know that people like me and this gentleman's parents appreciate the job that you are all doing down there. Respectfully, Keith Cross, Chief of Police from Aurora, Illinois. So I want to thank Deputy Blackwood for going the extra mile.
Good evening, everyone. I'll be quick. I just want to express my gratitude and give thanks to Chief of Police Keith Cross, Sheriff Tony, Captain Marks, and Lieutenant Rivera for recognizing my efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Blackwood.
That completes my report.
Thank you, Captain Marks.
Thank you.
Oh, right, Commissioner Llewellyn, Vice Mayor Llewellyn, I'd like to say something.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Captain Marks, you know I'm very involved when it comes to the homeless population, the mental health issues that have been going on there. And I will say that your deputies have done an excellent job. Not just in this case, but there are several cases that we know of that they try to do what they can for the people that are out there that are homeless, that do have mental health issues, substance abuse problems, that sort of thing. This is not the first time that I've seen something like this done, whether it's Deputy Blackwood or others. But I really do appreciate your efforts. I'm looking forward to you adding to your staff for that as well this year. I just wanted to give a special thanks to the team and Deputy Blackwood for taking the initiative to do this. Not every city does this. So I'm very proud that we are. So thank you.
Thank you.
Chief? Oh, sorry.
Did you want to take a picture, Commissioner? Okay, he would like to take a picture with all of us and the deputy.
Sounds great. Let's do it. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, City Manager, and our great citizens of Dania Beach. During the days of October 1st through 31st, our units were dispatched to 753 total calls. 674 of those were medical calls, medically related, and 79 of those were fire related. Our city team, along with police and fire, worked seamlessly during Tropical Storm Nicole. Our fire station renovation is moving really fast, and demolition was already done. Walls and electrical are already up already, and they've already been approved by our inspectors. Our team of recruits participated at the 5K event and carried the flag throughout the whole Dania 5K. That was our first annual 5K in Dania Point. I was there with them, along with Commissioner Davis. It was an amazing race and a great event. And we plan to continue participating in that event. And then finally, it's that time of the year again. So our firefighters are having their annual toy drive. It's again this weekend, Black Friday and Saturday. It'll be at the Dania Point 5 and below. So anybody out there listening, if you can come out, drop off a toy, we would appreciate it. And what we do every year is after the toy drive, we take the toys and try to get them out to our Dania residences. So thank you very much. And you have any questions?
Yes, Commissioner Davis?
Thank you, Chief. I just wanted to say what a privilege and a pleasure it was to have you at the 5K. They came like 30 deep. There was so many different BSO firefighters out there. You brought the big truck that we had for 9/11, and it was just spectacular. So thank you for whenever we have something that you guys come up and show out. And it was a pleasure crossing the finish line with you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you very much. Welcome aboard.
Okay, for item number 7, we have the consent agenda. Do any of the commissioners want to remove any items from the consent agenda?
And to be clear, 7.3 is withdrawn.
7.3 is withdrawn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. The ayes have it. For the consent agenda. Oh no, we're past that.
Past that, so we're now at
We're already through it.
8.1.
All right. Okay,
Should I read it for you?
sure, please.
It's a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Dania Beach authorizing the award of invitation to bid number 22-025 entitled repairs to the historic Nyberg Swanson House and Women's Club building to Persons Service Corp. Inc. In an amount not to exceed $39,602.50, providing for complex and an effective date. This is a public services item.
Can I entertain a motion to?
I make a motion to pass 8.1.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
9.1 is a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, approving the site plan modification for the property owner PRH Dania Beach LLC for property located at 901 East Dania Beach Boulevard in the City of Dania Beach, Florida, providing for conflicts and an effective date. This is a community development item, and before we go into that, I'm going to swear anyone in who's going to be testifying tonight on this application, or anyone in the audience who wants to speak on the application, including staff. So would you raise your right hands if you're going to be speaking tonight on this matter? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you. And finally, are there any disclosures on the dais of speaking to either a developer, an applicant?
Yes, I'd like to disclose that I spoke to Mr. Lay Kerr today. He just wanted to call me and just see if I was up to speed on the resolution. We basically just went over
The
went over
application.
what it is. Yeah, that's all. We just went over the information.
Anyone else? Seeing none. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commission.
Good evening.
Eleanor Narina, Community Development Director. This is a site plan modification request for the previously approved Parkview Place located at 901 East Dana Beach Boulevard. Next slide, please. I'm going to give a brief presentation. The applicant is here to give more detailed information and provide any questions that you might have. The site is located on East Dana Beach Boulevard, east of the Motel 6. The property is located in the Regional Activity Center and Zone Gateway Mixed Use. Next slide, please. Last year, in December, the City Commission approved the Parkview Development Project to construct a 355 dwelling unit residential building, 14 stories tall. The applicant has made significant changes to the building design that would require City Commission approval. Next slide, please. A summary of these requested modifications to change the building layout from a one tower structure to two smaller tower structure. You'll see some images in the next slides. Reduce the building height from 14 stories to 13. Reduce the density from 355 dwelling units to 354 dwelling units. Also to change the building finishes, the siding of the building from a brown wood-like appearance to a white stucco-like appearance. It also includes 9 additional parking spaces and increased green pervious area. Next slide, please. As you can see, the visual changes on the left is the previously approved site plan, which shows the one continuous tower at 14 stories tall. And on the right, you see the proposed site plan with the 2 smaller towers to include a larger courtyard area in between those towers. Next slide, please. These are elevations of the project. To the left is the previous approved building elevation where you can really see the massing of that one tower. And to the right is the proposed elevation with the 2 smaller towers. Next slide, please. These are some renderings of the project. To the left is the previously approved project, which you're familiar with, Parkview. And to the right is the new proposed renderings where you can see those smaller towers in the distance. Next slide, please. Staff feels this application supports the city's strategic plan by providing more attractive and beautiful communities from our entrances and corridors and providing value to our community. Next slide. The budgetary impact doesn't change very much for this project. They are only reducing the project by 1 dwelling unit. So that lowers the park impact fee by $1,800. Next slide. Staff is recommending approval. The applicant has provided all necessary documentation for this request, and the applicant is here to give their presentation. Next slide. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Liz Adler, Greenspoon Martyr, 200 East Broward Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm here on behalf of the applicant. We do have a presentation. I don't see it up yet. Yeah, it's no problem. It covers a lot of similar information that you just saw, so I'll try to be brief. Okay, you can go to the next slide, please. We can skip this. This is just, again, orient you where the location is off of East Dana Beach Boulevard, just west of Gulfstream Road, or east of Gulfstream Road. Next slide, please. So you can see off to the right, again, these are the same images that you just saw showing the previously approved site plan versus the new site plan. The changes are being made to reduce the massing to make the building more aesthetically pleasing. And just some of the main things that we're looking to do is to reduce the height from 14 stories to 13 stories, reduce the density by 1 unit. And there's no variances. I just want to point out with this application, there were variances with the prior site plan that was approved. Next slide, please. So again, this is the, let me see which elevations these are. All right, so here you're looking at the north and the south elevations of the building. And you can see that the previously approved plan, the one that's in effect now, is off to the right, and it's just one big building. The new proposed plan is two separate towers, gives you a little bit more space. The massing is reduced, so you can see from the north and the south. Next slide, please. And then again, this is just to show you the comparison, how the new building is just much less visually dense than the previously approved plan. Next slide, please. And I just wanted to show you a bunch of the images so you can get a sense of the new building. These are some of the details that are being proposed for the new building. The color choices offer kind of like a light white and a gray. There's going to be wood and engineered wood paneling underneath the canopies. And there's a mix of aluminum and glass railings to highlight architecturally the corners of the building. Next slide, please. And you can just go through. This is the rendering. This is looking north. Next slide, please. Or, I'm sorry, this is north at street level looking at the building. The first one was looking northeast. And next slide, please. Just another rendering so you can see it from all angles of the building to see the more pervious area, more green space, and just the, again, the two towers versus the one tower. We're here to answer any questions.
This is a public hearing, so all public comments are welcome. Mayor James, Commissioner James.
Hi, thank you. I have a question. Did you do any community outreach for the modification to this? And my second question is, I don't know, for some reason, I know that you said you reduced it a story, but it looks actually taller.
It's not taller. I believe the height difference is, let's see. Yeah, it's so the original plan was 144 feet. This one is 133 feet, 8 inches. So it's
Okay,
reduced.
thank you. I want to know about the community outreach and if there any
For
discussion.
the record, Lake Kerr, my office is 808 East Los Olas, I'm a land planner working on the project. And yes, we reached out, the previous project, we had a community meeting with Sea Oaks, and I reached out to Linda Barber at Sea Oaks again to see, told her about the change in the project, that type of thing, and she had any further information she needed, and they seemed to be no other reaction. I asked if they wanted a meeting, and, you know, they seemed comfortable with it. They're really the only development that's anywhere near close to the project. Because they're just on the west, and they're on the west side of Gulf
Developments
Street.
that's behind them as well, right? That they're apartments.
There were some townhouses, they were a little bit outside the range. I mean, I did
Okay.
one communication with them before, but I never heard back. But Sea Oaks, we did interact with them before. Yeah. But we're pretty far, you know, we're sort of east of Motel 6, so we're on the east edge of town.
Long as it's the same, I guess I could ask Eleanor, do they follow the same protocol of reaching out to the radius of residents that we typically do when we do developments?
Yes, we asked them to provide the same outreach for the 1,000-foot radius. They were adamant about just reaching out to the people that they had discussed with previously.
Okay,
So no.
thank you.
This is a public meeting. Are there any comments from the public? All in favor?
We're gonna do a roll call on this.
Clerk, can we please do a roll call?
The motion was done by who, I'm sorry?
Commissioner Salvino,
And who was the second?
Mayor James.
Joyce.
Oh,
Here we
Commissioner
go.
James.
Commissioner Davis? Yes,
You're all on.
I'm doing a roll call.
Okay.
Commissioner Davis?
Oh, sorry. I'm good with it. Yes.
Commissioner James?
Yes.
Commissioner Salvino?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Llewellyn? Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
Item 9.2 is a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Dania Beach approving the Hilton Embassy Suites site plan, design variations. for the property owner B and JMC Dania Plaza LLC, whose property is located at 233 North Federal Highway in the city of Dania Beach, providing for conflicts and effective date. This item is to be continued to the December 15th meeting.
Should be December 13th, I'm sorry.
Thank you, 13th. I knew I had something wrong.
Okay, for item 10, we have motion to continue section 9.2. Can I entertain that?
December 13th.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. This is a public hearing. Does anybody from the public have any comments on this? All right, thank you very much. So now for item 10, we have discussion and possible action to review and approve the city commission meeting dates for the calendar year 2023.
Thank you, Mayor Ryan. In your backup, I have provided a calendar or a schedule of your meeting dates for 2023, which, as you all know, fall on the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month. I've also included a memo which shows the potential impacts on your meetings by 4 major holidays. The first one being April 11th, 2023 meeting is affected by Passover, and I would recommend that you cancel that meeting. The November 28th meeting, the Thanksgiving holiday falls the week before that meeting, but although that's true, the Thanksgiving week is a short week, work week, and it is difficult to get all the items together, and I would recommend canceling that meeting as well. The December 12th meeting falls during the Hanukkah holiday, and while it's a significant holiday, we've gotten feedback from the community that there would be no problem with holding that meeting on December 12th. As to the December 26th meeting, we will be closed Friday, December 22nd, and Monday, December 25th, obviously, for the Christmas holiday. So I would recommend that the December 26th meeting be canceled as well.
Do I have a motion? Discussion?
Tom, what do we do for summer dates? I don't see anything changed here versus what we did last year. You're not giving
I
us
knew someone
nothing
might
on-
ask.
Mhm.
There aren't, because we bring that to you in March, which you're closer then to the new budget year process.
Okay.
And we have more information as to how your meetings will need to be scheduled for the budget process. So it'll be March till I bring it back.
Okay, I just wanted to
Okay.
make sure. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh, and with that, I'll make a motion to pass these dates. Do we need a motion, Tom, or you just need consensus?
Just consensus.
Consensus? Yes, yes, yes.
Aye. We have consented to the schedule. We have a consensus.
Full consensus. Thank you. Good
Okay,
job.
for section 11, commissioners' comments. Let's start with Commissioner Davis. There we go. You're on.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm gonna begin my comments with a request that I was given to see whether or not I could get consensus from this commission. I was approached by the Gasper Arts business that is right here on Dania Beach Boulevard, I believe in Foreford in Federal Highway. They have been invited to go to the Art Basel, which you know is a worldwide event where everyone comes to celebrate the arts all from all around the world in the city. They are requesting to have a booth. They have a booth. They are requesting a $5,000 help with that booth. So that is something that I wanted to bring before you to see what your thoughts were on that. I am the art liaison, so they came to me to bring it to the commission. So I just wanted to put it out there to you. It is something that would put Dania Beach on the map. I think for the first time at Art Basel, Gasper Arts is a great art gallery that is bringing more and more artists that can put us on the map as far as the art's concerned. So I wanted to bring that up for discussion and to see what your thoughts were on that. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Yes, so, through the mayor, what are we getting for the $5,000?
Well, basically, our presence at the but in partnership with Gasper Arts, they would be promoting Dania Beach. We could have whatever we wanted to have there, but basically, it's participation and recognition at this international event.
Are they seeking to use the logo and other materials maybe from Dania Beach? Or
Yes.
is it just strictly the money that they want from us?
Well, they are willing to partner with us and have our logo, have our materials there if we so chose to do that.
Commissioner James?
Yes, I'm not in favor of giving a business $5,000 to go and have a booth. I think if we're gonna give $5,000, we're gonna send our arts board or our city staff to the event, which I think would be great exposure. But I don't. I would like to see some type of material or I don't know. I know what Art Basel is very aware of that. I'm just not comfortable just giving a business $5,000 when we aren't the ones there with the booth. Now, I think that's a great idea to send our city staff or our arts board or arts and public places place there, but not for just one specific business. I think that opens up a can of
That's not
worms
to
with
say
other ones.
that couldn't happen if
No,
we wanted to have our city staff there.
no,
If
I
we
know.
wanted to have
I'm not saying no to that. No, what I'm saying is, I would say yes to that. I would entertain that with more information, but not just for the purpose of what you asked. I don't want to give. I'm not in favor of giving that business money for it.
And what I'm saying is that we could have a negotiation where if we wanted to have our city staff president, or if we wanted to have our public art board president, if we wanted to have members to attend that event to represent, that they could come. That's not something, they're not just saying, oh, just give us money. They're wanting to work with the city. So I'm just putting it out there. If there's something that you would want to see there, if there was something that you would want to have at there, then I'm sure that they would be willing to work with us on that. They just wanted to see if they could, partner with us in order to put the city on the map.
No, my vote will only be if the city staff did it as the holder of the booth.
Anybody else?
Commissioner Davis. So this is $5,000 for a private company?
It's an art gallery that's in the city of Dania Beach, and they're asking
For Design Center for Gasper Arts. Where are they located?
I don't have
Well,
the-
they're in the city limits.
Right,
Okay, okay. So we're gonna
right
give.
across from W Moda.
So we're gonna help them. 5K is for the booth at Art Basel. What, for the week or for the weekend?
For the whole.
For the weekend.
Yeah.
And do they have their own art, right, in their gallery, right?
Right.
So we're gonna help them sell their art, right? In a way, they're gonna have a booth and
Well, we're gonna have our presence. We would have our presence as the city of Dania Beach. That's what they want. They do want to have their art there on exhibition, but they also want to promote the city of Dania Beach at the same time.
well, for this, would they like make a piece for us or anything, or like yeah, I think the city could get some. If we're assisting them, then I think they could assist us. Give us their
Absolutely.
talents.
I believe in.
Um,
I think they would or should, or we
it-
can put it to them as a contingency if they don't want. You know what I mean? If that's what you would want
Yeah,
to do.
and art
get some-
galleries are expensive, so they could sell one of these pieces and make $5,000 just for one. So if we have a full booth there, I'm all for supporting them and maybe giving them some money, just like put up our logo or say, paint this picture of the pier for us, and I want to see it displayed in the booth, and then if you sell it, we're gonna list it for $7,000, sell for $7,000, and good, give us the money back. I would say it's definitely good to promote us in another city like Miami, but also it's just I don't want to give away money to an artist. You know what I mean? And no offense to artists out there, but it's just we have to figure out how we're going to be properly represented if we're just going to give them 5. That's all.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Yes. I think my biggest concern is that Art Basel is the first weekend in December, correct?
Yes.
So it's coming up quickly. And I just feel like we don't have enough time to vet it to make sure they're doing it properly. I think if it was something that we had more time on and we could actually put something together with them, I'd feel more comfortable with it. Without knowing exactly what they're going to do and not knowing that we're going to be there definitively to see what's happening, I'm just not comfortable with it at this point. So
I respect that.
Thank you. Uh, Comments?
Oh, yes, I still have a lot of comments. there.
Okay.
So is the consensus to bring something, well, we really wouldn't have time to bring anything back. So just if I wanted to use $2,500 from my contingency, would anybody have a problem with that? Okay, so it's my contingency.
Give it
have
to,
to have
to
a
give it to
presence to
the,
do what I propose, to have the city of Dania Beach have a presence at the Art Basel with Gasper Arts.
Okay, so you're gonna use your contingency.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, my other comments are that I attended Veterans Day at both posts 304 and 209, and I'm just so proud of our veterans who served our country and also are located here in the city of Dania Beach. To me, this Veterans Day was different from any other Veterans Day because I actually got to sit down and hear the personal stories of loss from our residents, those who lost their husbands, their sons, their families, and it really was just a wonderful celebration of our honor and honoring our heroes at both the posts. So thank them for their service, not just on Veterans Day, but every day. The next event I wanted to bring up was the 5K, which was absolutely amazing. It was a sold out event at Dania Point. Our resident who has run a Boston Marathon, who's run all over the country, Emily Daycock, she won first overall female. She's run all over the country, but she's never got to run here in Dania Beach. And so this was a very first time that she's ever been able to run in her own city, and she came in first. So kudos to Emily for bringing it home first for the females out of all of the hundreds of participants that came. Also, our lifeguards rocked out. Mike Hutt came in first overall in his age group, 13th overall. Nick Ramirez came in first in his age group. Alejandro Azcano came in first in his age group, and Jonathan Hernandez came second in his age group. So the lifeguards represented, BSO Fire represented, and it was just an awesome, awesome event that I look forward to next year. One of the things that really got to me was Hurricane Nicole, and everybody knows how much I love the beach, but it was completely almost destroyed. I have never seen, I've walked this beach for 17 years on a regular, almost daily basis, and it was torn down. Piles and piles of sand, water. The sand was up to the toilet seats, and it really was emotional for me because the guys have been working, the beam team has been working, the beach team has been working, the beach rangers have been working for so hard to keep our beach pristine, and it was just like a slap in the face. But they did not allow that to stop them. They came back and they worked round the clock every day, every morning, every night. They weren't supposed to be off on Veterans Day. They were still working and they never stopped working. So kudos to our public services team. It wasn't just public, it was all of the departments that came out and really, really just showed up and showed out to get our beach back to pristine condition. And I am beyond grateful to all of them for that. Next, I attended the America Recycles Day with some of our team from Public Services. We were able to see the whole recycling process from beginning to end. It was all the way out in Pembroke Pines. It was a nice long drive, but they are very much committed to their jobs and making sure that we're partnering and that we have a great relationship with the waste management. There was a press conference, and we were able to build our relationship and our partnerships with Waste Management as they get ready to build their $75 million building for sustainability with the partners. I mean, with the Panthers, with the Florida Panthers. Lastly, I attended the National League of Cities Conference in Kansas. I got back yesterday. We brought back some invaluable information. I've already sent some to the manager and to Colin to get some infrastructure grants going to benefit our city. We were able to network and talk to a lot of different elected officials from all over the country and really have the best um, workshops and presentations to move our city forward. I know the manager is a big proponent of keeping everybody's mental health together and taking your vacation when it's time to take your vacation. Dr. Sanjay Gupta was our one of our guest speakers, and he reiterated everything that we're doing here in this city. So that was very powerful. So I know that was a lot, but we missed 2 times, so I'm making up for lost time. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving break.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Davis. Commissioner James?
Thank you. I'm going to be brief. I attended a few events. The exotic car show was definitely packed, very hot outside, but it was amazing to see so many cool cars. I look forward to seeing that annually or however often they have it. It was a big draw, and I'm sure Daniel Point got a lot of business that day. Um, I want to give a special shout out to my son. He won the Super Bowl this past weekend. Um, in Coral Springs. So I'm very, very proud of his team. They went undefeated. They're in the newspaper today. So hoping that we can get some of this great talent back to Dania Beach. But they're a great group of kids, and I was excited for the entire journey. But I am glad I did not have to go to football practice anymore every day. Tomorrow, my foundation's having our annual Thanksgiving drive. We are giving away 400 turkeys in the back of C.W. Thomas Park. I look forward to working with our BSO and fire and our city staff as they always help every year. And, this year we weren't able to do what we would have liked to do. 400 turkeys cost almost $10,000, just to give you guys a little insight of the inflation that's going on. It's really crazy, but I hope that it could bless someone. We bless so many people so often. So 5 o'clock, if you are listening tomorrow, drive up, walk up, first come, first serve to the 400 turkeys, run out in the back of C.W. Thomas Park from the Tamara James Foundation. I'm in partnership with, our city of Dania Beach and our Parks and Recreation and everyone else that continues to be so supportive of my foundation. Veterans Day obviously is always something to celebrate people who are risking their lives for our freedoms every day, and so it's good to go to both sides. I wish that one day or one year we can all collectively do it together, so we don't have to split and go to the different events. Last but not least, I did meet just a little update. I met with the artists down at the quarter deck, and I'll be bringing you some renderings soon. Have a very safe and happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner James. Commissioner Salvino, your comments, sir?
Okay, thank you. By the time it gets to the third person, most everything's been said. One thing I am happy is I have another man on the commission with me this year. I don't like being put in the corner, but that's okay. Who bookends? Yeah, there we go. I won't comment on that. I do want to thank everybody again for the award you gave me tonight. I'm going to ask the board if I can take some money of my contingency tonight. Olson Middle School is doing some renovations and stuff like that, and there's some people over there that are working on that and trying to improve the school itself. It's just in bad shape. I'm not sure what the school board's been doing, but we have a resident that's been stepping up and working with the school board and the principal over there, and they're taking donations to improve the school. So I'm gonna ask you for $1,000 out of my contingency. If it's okay, I can apply it towards the Olson Middle School improvement. And I know that they're going to be doing. I know that OJ McDuffie is coming in and he is buying lunch for all the children, are bringing in lunch for all the children. And before the hurricane, he was going to fly in by helicopter, make an exciting day and things like that. So, with that being said, there is a lot of anxious people that are looking forward to making Olson, what's still saying there, Commissioner James, awesome Olson. So we got to get our city school, Olson, back and attention, even though they're an A school. They just need a little better conditions. So anybody wants to contribute, I'd like can I get approval for $1,000? Thank you. Other than that, welcome, Mayor Ryan. Congratulations on your win, and looking forward to serving with you for 2 years. Pardon me? Yes. Yeah, they were all shaking their head. Approve for 1,000, yes, okay.
I don't even know if I even got the contingency yet.
You do what?
Let's
Oh,
do it
okay,
then.
so we got 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Do I hear 4? 4,000.
4, I'll do it.
They're gonna love us, let me
Slap
tell
it.
you. 5,000.
I
We
grew
got
up near
$5,000.
Olson.
You know what, that's, believe it or not,
One.
6,
6,000,
I'll tell you what, they're gonna be really excited about that.
7,000. We're good.
Listen, I'll tell you what, Olson needs it bad. I don't know if anybody's been by there, but anybody that's in the audience or in the public that's listening, you can make an appointment to walk through that school, and the principal, she is awesome. She is really awesome. And she just fights to better that school all the time. I hope our new school board improves our schools, but right now they need a lot of help. You walk in the gym, it's just falling apart, and things like that just need improvement. But $7,000 is surely going to help them. I'm going to be very proud to offer that tomorrow because I'm having breakfast with OJ McDuffie tomorrow morning. So they will be excited to hear that. Thank you very much. Gosh, wow, I'm excited here. A little forced out. Anyhow, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and be safe. It's nice to be able to get our families back together for Thanksgiving since COVID is gone, and I'm looking forward to spending Thursday with my family. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, congratulations, Vice Mayor Llewellyn.
Thank you, Commissioner Salvino. I appreciate it. Vice Mayor Llewellyn.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, welcome. Welcome to the team. I believe the same night of the election, I sent you a little note and I said, welcome to the team. And I'm happy to be serving with you. So thank you. Well, it's been a bit crazy since the last meeting we had here. Obviously, we had one meeting canceled because of the weather, and I'm glad everybody's safe and healthy and didn't have any major issues with Hurricane Nicole. So it's good to see everybody back. Few things. I went to a lot of the same things as the other commissioners have indicated already, but a couple of extra things. One I did not go to, and I was very disappointed that I couldn't go, was the dog park Halloween event that took place over at PJ Mealy I couldn't, no, there was an election thing that night, campaign thing that night. But my understanding was that it was very well attended and there were some great costumes. And it's something that we're going to be doing again in the future. I'm glad we're doing that. It's great. And with that, I'm also going to give a big shout out to our Parks and Rec team. Not only was that a good event, but also the Fall Festival this year was amazing. It really, really was. You guys did such a great job. I think I saw you there. Didn't I see you there? Yes. It was awesome. I can't even, I mean, they had costume contests, they had a stage, they had the DJ, that was great, but they also had a stage for the costume contest. They had a petting zoo. I don't know if it was the same petting zoo as what was for the employee event, but that was awesome. They also had a corn maze. It was like a blow up corn maze. They had pumpkins. It was just an amazing event. And I mean, I saw Director Brown that night and just said, make sure everybody hears how great it is. But it was just an amazing, amazing event. It's the best one I've seen yet. So I was really happy to see that. And all of our BSO team were out there as well, which was great. And the COP program, they were all there. It was really good. It was a nice, everybody coming together. And it wasn't just people in Dania Beach. It was people from all over. And that was also spectacular that people know who we are and they're coming into town. So looking forward to that again and more parks events that are just as spectacular. Veterans Day, I also attended both posts events, and I agree with Commissioner James. I wish we could do something where they're all together because we all had to leave. We had to leave the first one to go to the second one, and it's unfortunate because it would have been nice to be able to spend time in both posts, a full amount of time, as opposed to having to rush from one to the next. So I remember at one point there was a combination event at some point. I do remember. I know, I want to say it may not have been Veterans Day. It might have been Memorial Day or something like that, but I do remember. Anyway, it would be nice because it's hard to run across town and see everybody when you really want to let everybody know, how thankful we are for their service and spend some time talking to the veterans in particular. Um, and with that, I also want to again thank Deputy City Manager Candido Sosa Cruz for his service. He is Marine, um, and we thank him for his service as well. Oh, the Exotics Car Show. There were literally thousands of people there. It was amazing. And these sort of events are, I'm so glad that we're approving them for Dania Point because they are doing a lot with that, bringing a lot of people into the city, letting them see who we are. The Historic Society, again, fabulous idea. Put the booth up, and they did such a great job. And people were coming from all over and asking questions about the history. And I know they got a whole list of emails and contact information so that they can follow up with that. Lots of new members. I saw Joanna the other day putting her list together, so her mailing list. So I know that they are moving forward with it, but I'm very proud of our Historic Society. They really are taking this challenge and moving it forward and doing what they can to preserve the history of Dania Beach. And just once again, thank you to all the residents who came out and voted. And it's been kind of a whirlwind between the election and then my birthday. And I've gotten thank yous or congratulations and happy birthdays. And I really appreciate all the sentiments. And it's great to be back for another 4 years, 2 years as vice mayor, 2 years as commissioner. And I'm looking forward to working with my colleagues and working with the team. So thank you again.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Llewellyn. Yeah, for my comments, I guess we'll start with the election since that's what me and you were doing, huh? I spoke to Mayor James about this also. The election, it's a moving animal. It's a living, breathing animal. Every day is different. You really don't know what you're going to get election day. Or early voting. I know, things change with the library and, we had some issues, but for the most part, I think the city and county did a very good job with the election. And, I want to thank code enforcement and everybody for all their cooperation with, every candidate that ran. And, I know it's not an easy job and, running is not easy. I'll tell you that. But, but we're through it and we're here. And I'm just looking forward to working with you guys. I'm already up here with you guys. I have nothing but respect for each and every one of you. And, you have to lose my respect first. And you guys all have my utmost respect. All right. So yeah, I'll talk about some events. I went to C.W. Thomas Park for the trunk or treat. I got there a little late, but I brought my kids. We had a great time. Trunk or treat was nice. I really liked how they had booths and stuff that you could do with kids where you just throw like, a big Velcro ball at a Target. You didn't have to pay anything for it. It was fun and it was organized and it was well thought out and it was simple. It's something that didn't have to cost us an arm and a leg. We got to, showcase some of our BSO vehicles. It was pretty cool. So yeah, for Veterans Day, I'm a member of the Sons of the American Legion at Post 304, and that post is very important to me. So I didn't go there for Veterans Day, but I frequented there before. It was like right after the election was over, and I just wanted to thank them. They can't support. They're not political, but it's just a big important part of me in the history of Dania Beach. Both of our posts. I went to a meeting. Memorial Hospital. Me and Lori were there. We met the CEO of Memorial Hospital over at the Marriott. Yeah. Over at the Marriott, and it was beautiful. It was nice. We had some wine. We got to. My biggest thing about it was I got to meet the commissioners of Hallandale, of our sister cities, Hallandale, Davie, Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale. It was very nice to meet them, and I told them like I'm ready to get to work right away. So that's one thing is I look forward to doing future business with those cities. I know that this current commission has been negotiating deals with our sister cities, and I just we can continue to grow and develop that relationship and just be an open book. I would like to maybe attend a couple holiday meetings or we could have some type of just review of what's going on around the cities around us. So congratulate to Vice Mayor Llewellyn once again. And like I said, really looking forward to working with all the commissioners, the staff. You guys welcome me like a family member. And, I love your teamwork concept. I love how amount of information you brought it to me and the way in which you delivered it. It was very effective. And, I know I'm like strange being old school and I want things paper but I definitely, I definitely appreciate you understanding me. And I look forward to getting to know you guys even better. So yeah, this is my first meeting. So far, so good. Place looks good. The mics are working, and yeah, there's a lot that we have to get done in this city, and there's a lot that I know that we're dedicated to get done in this city, and we're here to represent the best interests of our small businesses and residents in this city, and that's what I'm here to do. And I just hope to keep continuing to earn your trust. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Looking forward to the next meeting in December. Okay, for section item 12, 12.1, we have appointments. I am going to defer. I haven't finalized my list yet. I want to make sure I have everybody in order. So I'm going to defer all my appointments for the December meeting. I'll make sure I get everybody up on those boards. But we do have Vice Mayor Llewellyn. She has a few appointments.
Actually, Tom, my Marine Advisory appointment that I had previously, who was it?
For the Marine,
Yeah.
Clive Taylor.
I'm gonna reappoint him. And Green Advisory, who do I have?
Laura Lombardo.
I will reappoint her as well.
Okay.
And I have a planning and zoning appointment, but I don't know if we want to go through the whole list with everybody on that or. No? I'll give you mine. Quinn Robertson.
Very good. Any for education?
The others I'm gonna have to defer for now.
Okay, moving forward. Oh, okay, Commissioner James.
Yes, I would like to appoint Jonathan Thomas to the Planning and Zoning Board. Reappoint him.
Okay. That's it. Commissioner Salvino.
Yes, please, on the Planning and Zoning Board, I'd like to appoint Louis Romali.
Okay.
Who gets the two alternate appointments?
We vote
Okay.
on it.
I'll wait on that. I got one more on but I'm gonna check with them first.
I apologize. Sorry, I got papers everywhere. The two current alternates serving are Charlotte Sloboda and Daniel Sohn.
It went from planning and zoning. So I'm reappointing Derek Hankerson to P and Z.
Okay.
Mayor, can we bring the two alternates back for discussion when you bring all of your list back? Because you might have some.
Yes,
as
I would
well.
like that because
All right.
yeah, I probably have an alternate in mind. Actually, I can make one appointment for Planning and Zoning Board. I'm gonna appoint John Ryan. Can I entertain a motion?
Make motion to pass the appointments. 12.1 through 12. Okay, you make a motion, I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Mayor, if you could just forward me tomorrow the contact information if you're appointee, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, administrative reports.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor. First and foremost, congratulations, Mayor-elect Ryan and Vice Mayor-elect, well, not elected anymore, well, elected, but now officially. So super excited to work with both of you and continue to work with this great commission that is extremely enthusiastic. Thank you, Mayor, for my book. I'm super excited to continue to read it. I also want to take the time to congratulate our Deputy Director of Parks and Recreation, Cassie Warren. She had a little baby last week, her third little boy. So congratulations, Cassie. And I just wanted to congratulate the entire Parks and Recreation team. We have Anthony Fidi here representing. We have a very deep bench and just a great job on the Fall Fest and the Trunk and Treat. It was really fantastic. I also want to take the time to remind everybody that December the 1st, next Thursday, it's going to be our Christmas tree lighting right outside City Hall. And our events, our special events in Parks and Recreation, they continue to evolve. Just a fantastic job. So we ask that all of you come, bring your families, or all that are here in the audience and watching at home. December the 1st at 6 p.m., we'll have a Christmas tree lighting. I know that it was mentioned before, but for many of us, including our entire public services team, Parks and Recreation, our deputy city manager, our city engineer, our beach rangers. Nicole, even though it was a category 1 that was 2 counties away from us, really hit us really hard. I mean, we got to the beach early on Thursday and we had water to our knees. Thank God I had my own personal, boots. And but it was overwhelming. We didn't know where to start. It looked like Desert Storm. I kid you not. There were piles of 30 feet at least high of sand all over the place. Sand in the bathroom, sand. But I got to tell you, the investment and the proactive and the preventive measures that we took, that $1 million that we have invested in our pier, we still have a pier because of that. The monies that we have invested in our new lifeguard stands, ensuring that they were installed properly, but just to work around the clock. I mean, for all of us in this team, it just shows the character and how hard they work. And, less than a week later, we were at the beach and it was truly fantastic. So grateful to the entire team. I also wanted to let you know that our city was awarded an unprecedented $3,480,000 this year by the state of Florida via the Department of Environmental Protection for the Southeast Drainage Project, which is going to be our largest drainage project in the history of our city, in excess of $16 million. We've been very, very successful. I see, Commissioner Davis shaking her head, Commissioner Davis going to Tallahassee, making those contacts, calling out there, Fernando, the entire public services team. We're going to be putting a shovel in the ground soon I see Gunnar shaking his head. I mean, a lot of the sexy things that people don't see, which are pipes on the ground, and the mayor says, we have to do a better job of letting everybody know about these projects. So we have some things in the works, Jessica, you're going to be instrumental in ensuring that we get that communication out there. But just a truly team effort by everybody, and we're just super excited to continue to move the city forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anna. City Manager Anna.
Thank you, Mayor AJ.
Commissioner Salvino.
I just had a quick question for you. The Christmas tree lights on December the 1st.
Yes, sir.
Don't we have Leagues of Cities November 30th through the 2nd? Okay, it's just awful funny we'd cross that. We should all be at the Leagues of Cities and then we have to be here.
Let me speak to
late now.
Eric Brown. We might be able to move it a little bit earlier and make it happen. Let me see.
I mean,
you
it's
guys
just a
are-
thought. I mean, I didn't know it was, huh? What, Joyce? Commissioner Davis? All right, whatever. I just, you know, I mean, something that we should have been aware of though, that League of Cities been on there on our calendar for a while. And we need to look at our own calendar before we go and plan a city event.
Let me take a look at that. Let me take a look at, so Wednesday, the
It's Wednesday,
30th?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, okay. Let's see what we can do. We might be able to just make it happen a couple of days before, you know.
Yeah, but if you've already sent the flyers and everything, yeah. Just leave it the way it is. We just.
I had something to say, but I'll let Commissioner Davis speak. She was in the middle of a sentence.
Thank you. I'm just saying that I think last year we started having our own tradition of December 1st. So we've always done ours December 1st to kick off the holiday season. So that's kind of become a tradition of the city. And then this legislative session, this conflicted with a lot of different things. It is just becoming, you know, it's happening over and over again with the scheduling, but it's not really any finger to blame or to put points at anybody. I wanted to go to the legislative session. We were supposed to have a Broward League of Cities event, and also, I also would not want to miss Christmas here in Dania Beach. But we would just have to either, maybe look ahead and see. I don't think this. I know it was on there for a few months, but we've always had traditionally started our Christmas events, at least since I've been here, at the beginning of December. So I don't know that it's the best idea to shift staff around at the last minute when they put their heart and soul into it. But, I always, I love professional development, but I wasn't going to go to that to be, at the city for the holiday.
Well, Commissioner, and I want to say, to our new mayor, it costs the city the same amount of money. So when I first got here talking with Director Brown, it's like, why are we waiting so long to light the Christmas tree when it costs us the same? And then we light it and then we're taking it down 2 weeks later. So that's why we have made it a tradition to kick off the month and make it happen so we can enjoy it. And I know there's been some challenges with the league. We planned a great event for December with the league and we ended up having to cancel it.
Yeah.
I feel, thank you. I agree. I think we have to do a better job at looking at our schedule and looking at events that may be coming up. And that's on all of us. I I also know that, as important as it is, I'm not sure who's going, who's not going. I don't even know if I signed up to go or not. I have to ask my second brain, which is Maxine. Oh, she said no. But at the end of the day, although I know we all would love to be here, it's about our residents more than it is about us. And in the future, I think even if I know that we may have had it as a tradition on the first, but in the future, because I know representation matters when we go to these different executive sessions in the League of Cities and how important the League of Cities is to us and all of the resources and connections that we have there. If we have in the future, if we have to shift that date, I don't mind shifting that date to allow us to be a part of the celebration because I know it's equally important to all of us to be able to celebrate with all of our residents. And I know that Parks and Recreation is doing a phenomenal job raising the bar of everything that they are doing. And so no one really wants to miss it, but I would not recommend changing it as it's just is next week.
Thank you. And you know what we could do moving forward, because Maxine is so good when it comes to your schedules. So what we could do moving forward, is have, Eric Brown, everyone from Parks and Rec, which is the one department that's scheduling these major events, check your calendar. Even though we started December the 1st, we can always start the tradition earlier, not later. But yeah, I think for this year, we'll leave it December the 1st, but I think that we can centralize via Maxine, your calendar.
Yeah, if she could just have those conversations with Parks and Rec because they do so many events and having her in some of those meetings to understanding the League of Cities and all these other things that we have going on. So, we can work all together.
So, may I? Okay. So, my issue is that I'm actually on a policy committee, legislative policy committee, which meets on December 1st in Orlando. However, these meetings have tended to end a little earlier, and I may be able to arrange something so that I can go there and maybe head back early. So it might still work, but I mean, it is something that I will have to go to because it is, it's something that I was appointed and am representing our city there in that capacity and our goals. So, but anyway, I do think it is something, and I'll talk to Maxine about it. Maybe we can change my plans a little bit. We could probably do that. The first time I went up in one day and came back the same day. So I don't mind. I'll do the drive if I have to. That's all I have.
Yeah, I think this should be put on as soon as possible, because like you said, we're paying the money for the lights, so we might as well have them up. You know,
Yeah.
if we could do it the day after Thanksgiving, I would do it, you know?
It's too late.
So,
Too late to do that.
but December 1st is perfect, and it sets the tone really for Christmas. And yeah, I agree. It's not about us, it's about the residents. You know, I can make it.
If I can't make it, I'll be there in spirit. If I can't make it, I'll be there in spirit.
Okay. Our city attorney, Eve, administrative reports.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to welcome our new mayor and our new vice mayor in her new title tonight. And I wanted to go over three things. I'll try and keep it quick. I'm going to start with C first. I'd like to introduce you to John Gurney. He's our new assistant city attorney. He came to us from the federal government, and he's doing a good job already. He started the same day as the mayor did.
Put him to work right away.
Next, the proposed interlocal agreement regarding the airport. I've tried to talk to almost every one of you about this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Basically, we have two choices. We either do an interlocal agreement, or we have to create a new bureaucracy and go do a board where the county would pick 2 members, we would pick 2 members, and then we'd have to agree on a 5th member, and all zoning applications would have to go to this external board to make sure that we comply with the zoning requirements for the airport. So because of our history with the airport and all the different things, I wanted to make sure that you're giving me the authority to go ahead and try and negotiate on an interlocal agreement, and that's the direction I'm looking for. Any objections?
Commissioner James.
I want to make sure, I know we've had these discussions before and you probably already told me no, but we can't put anything else in that MOU about naming rights and about the
How
noise
about I'll raise the issue,
mitigation.
but I'll
and-
definitely raise the issue. I actually did the first meeting I had with them. I said, "Isn't this in Dania? Can't we talk
No,
about
it's important. I think that it's important, especially a lot of the noise mitigation because the airport has expanded, and I just want to put it on the record because I know a lot of us get questions from our residents about why it's like this in the first place, and also what are we doing? And I know that our hands are kind of tied, but if you can bring those items up,
Sure.
okay.
I
well,
will.
don't
I
have
will
an
bring
issue.
it up. I'm not promising I'll get it in there, but I will bring it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, as I've stated, while we're in negotiations, we might as well negotiate. You know, we could bring up some more points, even though if it's not totally to the matter at hand, we could still bring it up, and they know what's on our mind as a city.
The last item I wanted to discuss is, we're trying to get that possible road park on Bryan Road. You may recall that there is a developer who has 2 buildings that are going up, and part of the resolution for the buildings was that in the area that was going to be a bridge over the canal is going to be turned into a park. It's a requirement of the resolution. So you may recall that the city owns half of that land, the county owns the other half of the land, and we've been in negotiations with the county. And the county said, we actually like the idea of you turning this into a park. It's a great idea. But we believe, with sea level rise and flooding issues in the future, that we wanted to use this area for flooding purposes. We want to be able to drain into the canal. So they had 2 conditions at the county for allowing us to turn it into a park at the cost of the developer. And condition number 1 is that there be parking within the structure so that people can come to the park and use the park. Developer has no objection to that. The second part was basically the county wants to have installed by the developer a 48-inch line. And it would be underneath the park so that when flooding happens in the future that they believe will happen, they can just connect to that pipe and do the drainage into the canal. The cost approximate of doing the installation of the pipe is about $100,000. We have a commitment from the developer to at least pay all of it. Oh, we have an update. They're paying the whole thing. So this is no longer an agenda item.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So that's it. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes. Gobble gobble day.
Thank you, Eve. Okay, city clerk,
Thank
any
you, Mayor.
reminders?
Thank you, Mayor. Upcoming meetings Tuesday, December 13th at 5:30 is your CRA board meeting, followed by your regular city commission meeting at 7 p.m. That's all I have.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.